Are you easily overwhelmed by sensory stimuli, such as loud noises, crowded places, and bright lights? Do you feel a strong need for downtime during and/or after busy, hectic days? Do you feel deeply moved by nature, beauty, art, music, and the like? And do you have deep intuition and creativity and a rich inner world of thoughts and feelings? If you said yes, it's most likely that you have something called SPS. Sensory processing sensitivity, or SPS, is a temperamental or personality trait involving an increased sensitivity of the central nervous system and a deeper cognitive processing of physical, social, and emotional stimuli. A human with a particularly high measure of SPS is considered to be a highly sensitive person, HSP. 1 in 5 people of the world are highly sensitive, and the trait of high sensitivity is an innate biological trait. It's found in equal numbers of men and women, extroverts at 30% and introverts at 70%, and it's found in over 100 species besides humans. Since highly sensitive people have an overactive CNS and can get overstimulated easily, my belief is that we can be more prone to opioid addiction, alcohol addiction, benzodiazepine addiction, and addiction to other drugs that calm down the overactive CNS. Here's some helpful info from Dr. Elaine Aron's website that describes the highly sensitive person. She literally wrote the book on this topic. First, your trait is normal. It is found in 15 to 20% of the population. Too many to be a disorder, but not enough to be well understood by the majority of those around you. It is an innate trait. The brains of highly sensitive persons actually work a little differently than others. This trait reflects a certain type of survival strategy, being observant before acting. You are more aware than others of subtleties. This is mainly because your brain processes information and reflects it more deeply. So even if you wear glasses, for example, you see more than others by noticing more. You are also more easily overwhelmed. If you notice everything, you are naturally going to be overstimulated when things are too intense, complex, chaotic, or novel for a long time. This trait is not a new discovery, but it has been misunderstood. Because HSPs prefer to look before entering new situations, they are often called shy, but shyness is learned, not innate. In fact, 30% of HSPs are extroverts, although the trait is often mislabeled as introversion. It has been called inhibitedness, fearfulness, or neuroticism. Some HSPs behave in these ways, but it is not innate to do so and not the basic trait. Sensitivity is valued differently in different cultures. In cultures where it is not valued, HSPs tend to have low self-esteem. They are told, "Don't be so sensitive," so that they feel abnormal. It's obvious to me that people with overactive central nervous systems often turn to CNS depressing drugs to help them cope. Unfortunately, while these drugs can offer relief in the short term, the regular use of these drugs actually makes things worse in the long run. And when a person tries to come off these drugs after being dependent on them, their CNS excitation gets worse than ever before. This often leads to relapse, as the person just can't cope with life well when they are so easily overstimulated and prone to constant negative thoughts and emotions. I ended my opioid addiction over 8 years ago, and while I still have the high sensitivity trait as it never goes away, nowadays I don't use drugs to cope with my overactive nervous system. Instead, I use healthy and adaptive coping tools. If you're an HSP, please know that there are just as many pros to having this trait as there are cons. You have a very unique way of processing life, and you can use this as a gift to enrich your life and be happy and fulfilled. However, to achieve this type of balance, you'll need to make some lifestyle adjustments. One thing that has really helped me was coming up with an HSP self-care plan, and I'm going to teach you how to do the same. Here's a list of things you can do to reduce stress and increase well-being as an HSP. Increase downtime and alone time. Make exercise a regular part of your life. Reduce your sympathetic nervous system, SNS, fight or flight, activity and enhance activation of your parasympathetic nervous system, PSNS, rest and digest, by using the following methods: meditation, yoga, Qigong and Tai Chi, biofeedback, nature walks, and diaphragmatic breathing. Reduce or eliminate time spent watching the news, scary movies, and action movies. Journal on a regular basis in a quiet place where you're alone. Spend less time on social media. Get enough sleep on a regular basis. Learn how to eat healthily for your unique biochemistry. Have at least one or more outlets for your creative side, such as music, art, writing, etc. Hang out with loved ones that understand and appreciate your high sensitivity trait. Develop a strong sense of purpose in life if you don't already have one. Key concepts. HSPs are around us everywhere. In my immediate family alone, I have the trait, as do my daughter, sister, and mother. I can also tell you that my green cheek conure, a type of parrot, named Papaya, is an HSP as well. Along with about 20% of humans having this trait, the same is true for animals. Individuals that have high sensitivity can be prone to opioid addiction and addiction to other substances that calm down their overactive central nervous systems. Fortunately, by making some strategic lifestyle adjustments, HSPs can reduce stress and become less overwhelmed. And by using healthy and adaptive coping tools, we can avoid turning to opioids or other drugs to cope with life. And with that being said, thanks so much for watching. If you believe you are an HSP, you can always go on Google and type in HSP test and find one of the free questionnaires online. It's a really cool topic. It was fun sharing it with you, and I'll see you soon.